So how about a bit of Monday motivation for you today? Having directly coached, trained, and counseled many people across many industries, this guy is a published author and motivational speaker. His name is Abiola Champ Salami. He's going to be sharing with us this morning about emotional intelligence and how to specifically deal with your fears. How you doing this morning, sir?
Very well. Good morning.
Good to have you join us.
Thank you.
It's that time of the year when people start thinking, and when you think too much, sometimes it brings on fears because fear of the unknown, fear of the future. What's 2020 going to be like? For some people, they've had maybe bad experiences for this year, and they're thinking, no hope for the next year. How does one move from such feelings and then begin to deal with their fears?
Okay. Fear is a reality. In fact, somebody said that fear is false expression appearing real. And how do you start to move beyond your fears into hope? The first thing is to even ask, what are the things you feed your mind? Because fear at times doesn't just come into mind. It comes as a result of the things already in the mind. And so when you maybe hang around people who sound hopeless, people who talk about how things cannot go well every now and then, so you're feeding your mind with negativity that will eventually lead into you having fear even when things are going well. So pay attention to the people that you have around you, and not just the people you have around you. Let me generally say that to the media that you consume. So the people around you, yes, the media, the books you read, the things you follow on social media, the things you watch on TV. That's why it's good to tune into a station like this on Wake Up Nigeria, where there's always something to inspire you. So paying attention to those things really matter. And in addition to that, beyond paying attention to the media that you consume, it's also to sit down and just think about the year. Most times we focus on the things that are not working. We don't think about the things that worked. For every human being that is still alive right now, there are things that worked well for you this year. If not anything, at least you are still alive. And that statement of where there is hope and when there is life, there is still hope. It's not just a cliche. It is true. It's a reality. I define hope, H-O-P, as holding on with a persistent expectation. So the moment you still have breath in your nostrils, it means that you still have the opportunity to change the course of action, to change your future, to make things better for yourself.
Well, a lot of people also say that their fears are rooted in reality. So if I did the stock market in 2019, for instance, and I know that historically the stock market has been on the downward trend. People are pulling out their investments. So the stock market was really bad for 2019. And 2020, the outlook doesn't look so great. So, and even for other industries as well, people are saying inflation is at 12%. So a lot of people's fears are rooted in reality of what they're actually seeing right now. So whether the news is talking about it or not, they're actually experiencing it. So how do you, so you were talking about the media that you consume and the people that are around you. How, in this kind of instance, how do you deal with such situations, especially when you're looking forward to the future?
Okay, great. In this context, the solution is options. Right. So I invested in stock market, for example, and it didn't give me the expected ROI. Yes. But are there other options? Are there other crafts to invest in? Are there other knowledge areas that I need to expose myself to? So it's about options. It's about knowing that while one thing has failed or a number of things have failed, it is not everything that is failing. Are there people that are actually still making money? Are there people who made good money this year? Yes. How did they make it? That's what I want to expose my mind into. While it is a reality that the reason for this fear is because of the economic downturn, is because of even the predictions of more economic, an economic outlook that is not better than where we are now. In as much as that is factual, the other fact is that people are still making money from other sources. So how do I open my mind into searching for those things? And what fear does to us is most times fear shuts us down from seeking other options, from seeing other opportunities. We just think that so far one thing is not working, and most people are talking about the economy not working, that everything is not working. For example, people still eat food, even if it's not 3 times a day, twice or once a day, then somebody is supplying that meal. There is a value chain in that meal, I mean, in the supply of that meal as well. You know, there are many other opportunities to invest in. So it's about not being myopic. It is about not it's about not being myopic. It is about not being scarcity focused. It's about being abundance focused. Scarcity focused is that things are not working, things will not be better. The gloom, things are negative, things are going down. That's the conversation on one side. The conversation on the other side about abundance is, even if I don't have enough for now, how can I make more? How can I get more? Where is it happening? Where is there green grass somewhere that I can go and fetch from? And the moment we allow fear to stop us, we can think about that.
So let's talk about the pitfalls. Of course, you've defined, you know, trying to avoid certain situations or certain people. So going forward, if I'm trying to get this positive mindset, and you talked about hope, you talked about alternatives and options that you might have and all of that. How do I ensure that going forward, I avoid the pitfalls that could bring back that fear? Because, you know, sometimes you have this hope, you feel motivated, you go out there, you try to do it, and then, you know, the reality hits you once again, the reality of what you're seeing on ground. So how do you navigate those pitfalls and sort of like give us a sense of what to do on a day-to-day basis to ensure that we stay continually hopeful and motivated?
Okay, great. There's a quote that comes to mind that says, courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to persist in spite of the fear. So how do we avoid the pitfalls when we're trying to stay motivated to get things done? It is about getting things done. It's about doing the work. It's about staying on course. It is about learning the new opportunities that are available and not listening to those lies in our minds. I mean, for public speaking, for example, which is one of the things people fear the most, when you stand in front of a people, confidently you've prepared and you got on stage and you want to present, there's the possibility that some voice in your head may be talking to you. And I expressed that some years ago. I was exposed to an audience I've never been exposed to before, about 93% of them white. And then I jokingly said to someone that was the day I realized that village people also can obtain visa. You know, and what I mean by that is, while I stood in front of them, I started hearing some voices say, you know, you can't, yes, because you've done this with blacks before. These are not blacks. These people are more enlightened. You cannot do it. And for a second, I allowed that thought to stay. And I saw myself started shaking in front. But thankfully, I recovered from that in about 5 seconds that no, I've done this before. These people are about to enjoy what I'm about to do, and I will continue no matter how, no matter the feeling of fear. As I continued acting, the fear started going away. So how do you avoid the pitfall? Do the work. Get on stage, prepare, learn, study, whether it's public speaking, whether it's about business, whatever it is. Get to know as much as you need to know. It is said that knowledge is power. Get to know as much as you need to know, and as you are knowing, start acting, start living. You may still have that feeling of fear, but keep on working, keep on doing it, and at the end of the day, you'll be glad you stayed the course.
Well, you guys, you heard it from the champ. Keep doing what you're doing, and you know, those fears begin to recede, and make sure that you keep the right people around you and get the right information into your system, so you can face that fear and win all the time. Thank you so much, Biola Champ, for joining us this morning, motivating us for the rest of this week.